Okay, I know what you're thinking. Abby, why is there not crazy lipstick on your face? Okay, well this top is like weird and crazy enough that like, do I really need to wear like crazy black lipstick or something? No, I'm fine. In this video, I'm gonna talk about books that I read when I was little up to the age of 10. Let's talk about little Abby. When Abby was in kindergarten and first grade, and my favorite thing to do was read. I love to read Arthur because I love the TV show, and then Curious George because the monkeys are so cute. My favorite book for so long was Arthur Writes a Story. It's really cute. My second grade teacher read Charlotte's Web to us. I cried. Okay, growing up, my dad would come back from the comic book store every Wednesday, and he still does, and he would bring us back Archie comics. Jughead was like my favorite person ever because he was so funny. And then I was always team Betty. Betty belonged with Archie. But now, like, as I'm older, I really like Veronica. She brings so much to the story. Veronica is great. Like, no one gave her enough credit. And here's a Betty and Veronica double digest. And here's a Jughead double digest. And then here I have Betty and Veronica's Princess Storybook. Like, I can pull these, like, everywhere. Like, I have so many of these. So in my elementary school, we had a book fair once a year. And I wanted to buy everything. Everyone was talking about this book called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Only the first and second one had come out. As you can see, I have 1 through 6 now because that's the kind of person I am. So I bought one every time they came out, and it was such a big deal. And I'd go to the bookstore and I'd read this, and I would laugh so hard, and then my sister would read them, and she was 2 years older than me, and we laughed so hard. These books are so funny, and the boys would read them and girls would read them, and especially kids who hated reading would read them because, like, they're stick figures and there's only like 2 sentences every page. I would probably still read the ones that have come out since Cabin Fever. I don't have the pride to get one and read it, but I would still enjoy it. It's so sad though because other kids grew up with like Harry Potter, and I was reading about like stick figures, and the author of this created Poptropica, which was like the website of my life. At one of these book fairs, I also picked up Ali Finkel's Rules for Girls. Is by Meg Cabot. I really have not met anyone else who has read these like in my whole lifetime. And it's crazy. It's the same author as The Princess Diaries. I talk about her all the time. I have so many Meg Cabot books, okay? So I had like all of these, and now I'm down to 2. I don't know where they went. This is the first one. Ali moves to a new town with new friends, and she has such a temper, and she only has brothers. Her relationships with people in her school and her teachers and just everyone in her life, it was so real. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, I want to be like Ali Finkel. Like, this was my life for so long. And then my favorite one is called Stage Fright. It's the 4th one. I remember these so clearly. I only read this like 1 time. She wants to be the main character in the play, but instead she's cast as like the Wicked Witch. Everything about Ali Finkel is just so great, and she's just such a good role model. Okay, at one point I picked up, I can't remember how, but I picked up this book called Violet Rains Was Almost Struck by Lightning. This book is about a girl named Violet. She lives in Florida? Yeah, Florida! Yes, go my memory. I have the best memory. And then this girl named Melissa arrives from big city Detroit. I live in Detroit. I see you, Melissa. Everyone's being kind of brainwashed by Melissa, and she is not having that. Next, I'm going to talk about Dear Dumb Diary. At first, I completely avoided these because, like, I thought it was copying Diary of a Wimpy Kid. They're advertised as, like, the girl version of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I was always like, listen, I can read Diary of a Wimpy Kid even if I'm a girl, and then boys should read this too, because this was so funny, and look at these stupid pastel colors. Like, boys could easily read these books. They're so funny. They're written by a man. But basically, this girl named Jamie is in middle school, and her best friend Isabel is like this evil, scheming demon child. And then she has a crush on Hudson. And then Angeline, this blonde girl, is always like getting in the way, even though she's like perfect and nice. So it went from middle school to high school, and I was getting pretty old at this point, so I kind of stopped reading them. But I feel like I still would enjoy them. The illustrations are hilarious. It's so relatable. I love how Jamie overthinks everything, how paranoid she is, how easily she'll believe anything around her. And then she has this crazy dog named Stinker. Okay, next I'm going to talk about the Sisters Grimm. These books are awesome. We follow Sabrina and Daphne, who are sisters. Their parents die, and it's like a murder. And so they go live with their grandmother, and then there's these people called Ever Afters, which are from Storybook. So there's like Snow White. But I remember the first time I heard about Once Upon a Time, I was so mad. I'm like, they're copying the Sisters Grimm. The Sisters Grimm is amazing. Peter Pan though. The thing with Sisters Grimm is that the series wasn't finished. So I read the one with like the blackish cover. I read that one when it came out. It had been like a few months, maybe even a year since I like started the series, and so I didn't really remember a lot of the stuff. And then there was the last book, which I don't even know when it came out, but I haven't read that because I don't remember enough. So I was in 3rd or 4th grade. I saw the movie Series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey, and it was so scary, but I loved it so much. And so I read them, and then it was insane. I was like, these books are amazing. What is life? And they're so dark and like twisted. You could easily condense the books and like sell them as like young adult books. But I'm so glad I read these. These just were a big part of my life. I love how the author's part of the story. I love how he starts to tell you, like, don't read the books. So I got it from the library. I read 1 through 13. There's 13 of them. It took me 2 years to read. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.